What is up, A team? Welcome back. Awesome here. Hope everyone's having an awesome day or night, depending on where you're at, but hope it is awesome. And yes, we're back at it today to talk more about crypto, to talk more about the markets. As you guys can see right now, the markets are doing phenomenal. Markets are doing fantastic today, dude. What a great day to wake up and just see the markets ripping. I mean, over the weekend, it's been a great weekend. I mean, it's probably been one of the better weekends we've had in a very, very long time. Honestly, I couldn't tell you the last time that we had a weekend that actually felt like we were actually accomplishing something in crypto. We've been in a massive downtrend for literally since October, and now it kind of feels like everything that we've worked for in the last 3 months, DCAing in, dollar cost averaging your way into positions, buying the dip, everything that you've been hearing out there is coming to fruition. I mean, it's coming to exactly what we thought it would. I mean, that's exactly why you buy the dips, exactly why you continue to push forward, even when people are out there doubting the market, doubting where things are going. I just think it's important that we put out there that like it must stop, dude. Like at the end of the day, you just gotta the people out there that are just bearish on the markets and trying to bring you down. Like just got to come to an end. I get it's good to be realistic, but like there's a lot of people out there calling for people to sell their entire bags, get out of crypto. Crypto's a scam, all this crazy stuff. And I just think it's funny. I look back at it and I just kind of chuckle because anyone that actually worked their way through this positions, they're actually up today. Anyone that DCA'd their way into these positions are up today. Like we can probably legitimately say anyone that DCA'd in through the last 3 months, now today, sitting where we're at today, it's actually looking really, really good. So before we jump into it, I do want to share a lot of information with you guys. I want to say what's up to the A team. Again, hope everyone's having a fantastic New Year's out there. Welcome to everyone over on TikTok, over here on YouTube. We got Jorge in the house here. What's up, buddy? We got Lieutenant Ace. What's up, bud? Selmo's in the house here. Just Maui, Midwest. What's up, Corey? Good to see you, dude. Abe's in the house here. Tall Paul. Black Buddy. What's up, man? Black Buddha. Sorry. Dave. What's up? Good to see you. We got Craig in the house here. Adam, Jamin. Good to see you guys. We got Monty, R. Lake, Jeffrey, Chris, Chipper, Anthony. Good to see you guys. We got Just Maui. Yeah, what's up, Just Maui? Carrie's in the house here. We got Jonathan Gomez. Good to see you guys, dude. Also, I opened my first long on XRP at $2.01, and it's been still going. Hell yeah, dude. That's such a good long position, man. Anyone that got into leverage trading over the weekend, I was kind of out of it on the weekend. We had some things going on, but anyone that put some longs in that, incredible, dude. I hit my stops over the weekend. Friday, we actually had a pretty big downtrend. We'll look at the charts. We had a downtrend, hit my take profit zones, and then I didn't actually buy back in for anything. So I just sort of sat there. But yeah, kind of wild when you start to look at it. So let's jump into it. We got some things to cover here. As you can see right now, the cryptocurrency market is back to a 3.19 trillion. This did hit 3.2. Started to rise up massively. As you can see, Bitcoin did hit 94,000 again, up about almost 7% over the last 7 days. You can see our baby right here in XRP went back to 219, up about 17%, almost 18% on the day. Like XRP has been ripping over the last 7 days and looking really, really good. A lot of the cryptos out here have done phenomenal. Even Solana's up right now. Dogecoin up 21.86%. Everything's kind of climbing back up here. Even when you go back, look at Sui's looking really, really well. Hedera back up 11%. It hasn't climbed the greatest, but I mean, it's still up 11%. Even Ethereum's sitting pretty good, sitting around that almost a 7% marker. But overall, crypto kind of feels like it's coming back here. The fear and greed's back to 42, which is a neutral. And this kind of stuff that you want to actually see here. Stock market's, dude, it's absolutely booming right now. The Dow is up 746 points. The S&P's up 58 points, and the Nasdaq's up 200 points. I mean, all-time highs coming in for the markets across the board here. And obviously, this has to do with the whole Venezuela, Chevron. I told everyone in my Discord, like, hey, guys, if you're not waking up on Monday and putting some money into Chevron, into BP, into any, ExxonMobil, any of those things, knowing what's going to happen with Venezuela. I don't care what side of the political line you are on with Venezuela or not. I really don't care. Like, I don't care about the politics side of it, because what it comes down to for us is how do we make money? What's the best way? Where should we put our money? And right now we do know that the Venezuela oil is probably one of the biggest things out there, and including some other things. And that's kind of where it's at. And I'll just for the record, I do think what happened with Venezuela is extremely positive. I think that's great. I think people should live freely and should not be under any dictatorship. So that's perfect. That's kind of where I'm at with it. And we can all agree or disagree on where it's at here. But I think, human rights is one of the most important things. We only live once, and I think people should be treated decently across the board. And so that's kind of where I'm at with the whole Venezuela thing. But I'm excited for what it's going to do in the markets right now. You can see right now the markets are performing phenomenal. Everyone's sort of came out like what's going to happen with Venezuela. People have probably sold their positions thinking that, Bitcoin was going to go down, Ethereum was going down, the markets were going to tank. But markets have actually reacted very, very popular to what happened in Venezuela. So we'll leave it there. Any word on the Pure Wallet thing? I did. I tell you this, dude. I did reach out to Pure Wallet. I did talk to Andrew, and being that they haven't really communicated a whole lot, I think they're going to set up a. I think they're going to set up a like a town hall type thing on X and go up there and talk. And I'll probably go up there and help co-host it to ask questions, right? Take the community and ask some questions up there. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, let me know. Put it over in Discord for me, and I'll go up there and I'll help moderate the Pure Wallet X space whenever they schedule it. So I did talk with Andrew about that, and he does feel it's important to go out there and talk to the community about it. I told him it's important to talk to the community about it. You can't, I know they have a lot of things, positive things that they're going to talk about that are going out there that they couldn't talk about that are good for Pure Wallet. But nonetheless, a pre-sale ended. What's the next steps? I think that's super important to lay out there. So that's all I know, and we're gonna figure it out on the next space. So I think that's the best thing that can happen. XRP overbought on the 4 hour. It's been overbought for quite some time on the 4 hour for sure, dude. You can see right here. This is what's crazy, dude. Shocking stat of the day, man. And I showed this right here, 700 points up right now, almost 768 points up on the Dow. But this is a shocking stat of the day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average has now posted 8 consecutive monthly gains and the longest streak since 2019. It also marks the second longest run since the 1950s. Historically, after similar streaks, the index advances in 6 of the 8 cases 1 month later, meaning that this is going to continue to climb exponentially over the next 6 to 8 months, because that's typically what it shows. Over the next 6 to 8 cases, meaning that majority of the time, almost 80% of the time, it continues to climb thereafter. And it says at the same time, the S&P 500 dipped slightly last month after finishing positive for 7 consecutive months. Following similar runs, the S&P 500 was up 1 month later in 7 of the last 9 months, meaning that we're going into pretty much a pretty good bull run here. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what any bearish person out there can be bearish. Let them be bearish. I don't care, dude. Like we've been bullish even in a bear market. We're going to continue to be bullish on the channel here, and history suggests that the current bull market will continue. Regardless of what anyone says. I mean, just look at the data, look at where it's at, and I'd much rather look at the data and run my numbers off the data and where my investments are versus listening to people on X or influencers out there, people putting out crazy stupid stuff. And so, I mean, just look at the numbers, dude. Look what's in front of you here. And I mean, make your best decision at the end of the day. But I know for a fact that anyone who bought into the markets during the last 3 months of this downturn is now up today. I mean, I feel pretty confident that majority of people who DCA'd into their positions are at least even and or up on their positions from 3 months ago. So yeah, dude, PWT Gulf storage is frustrating. Yeah, you're talking about the cold storage. Yeah, cold storage can be a little rough. Bought me some Cosmos at sub 2. Hell yeah, dude. What's up, Standard Man? Good to see you, man. We got Cool Cat in the house here. Good to see you, dude. Chameleon, wish it was here. What's up, F Joe? Good to see you, man. Another stream that shares only the W's. What are you talking about? If you actually watch, bro, it's funny, man. That's actually funny. If you actually do watch my channel, I actually play. I do devil's advocate. I show the good side and the bad side. So obviously you don't watch, man. So positive. I'm glad you're here though, because I usually show the positives and the negatives. And I could tell you actually don't watch, but it's okay. Appreciate you being here, man. Thanks for the view. CC, I got some around 190. Dude, they got the Cosmo at 190. Will prove to be a great move. Hell yeah, dude. So another positive thing here too is, obviously Bitcoin surged above 94,000. The leveraged short liquidations exceeded 200 million. Let's actually take a look at those today because it's pretty wild. I told you when the ratios get a little out of hand here, there's going to be a flip here, but the longs, the ratios are not that bad. I mean, you're talking, and for where we're at in terms of numbers, like let's just take Ethereum. Like look at how well on the daily that Bitcoin, we're back to a pretty good level here. This will be where we maybe get some rejection. We've been rejected here about 1, 2, almost this will be the third time. Hopefully we don't get a rejection here, but it's looking like we might based off of where we're at. Obviously oversold we're on the oversold side of it here, or sorry, over purchase side of it. And you can actually see that we're coming up here again. This is the make or break right now for 94,000, but we're at these levels, which has been a nice consolidation ever since November, coming down after the October deal. Now we're sort of consolidating around here, trying to make a breakout. But you go back and you look at this and you can see that the liquidations aren't as bad. The ratios, the ratios are there. But I mean, we're talking a 45 million long liquidation to 64. Usually those ratios are way off. So it's really kind of flattening out even on the leveraging side of it. So yeah, as much as that we're there, I mean, 200 million doesn't seem as bad as the billions that were happening before. I have more than doubled my Atom bag. Hell yeah, dude. Dang, late again. What's up, 18? What's up, Pipeline? Good to see you. I actually started early today. I'm starting at 9. I think I'm going to try really hard here in 2025 or 2026 to start streaming at around 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's kind of where it's at right now, is streaming at 9 a.m. I'm going to try to gain back an hour of my time. I usually stream at 10, but I'm going to kind of come back and stream around 9. So hopefully people start to come on here. Not yet. Still looking at who I should hold. Well, what do you stake with? Oh, you must be talking to someone here. I got more luck when I went against YouTubers are saying most of the time. I got more luck when I go against what YouTubers are saying. Okay, that's fine. Appreciate that, man. Let's see here. Pipeline Selmo. You're staking right now. You're staking your stuff. How are XCL and Cent projects doing? I think they're doing pretty good, man. I think they're still doing good. Yeah, they're doing pretty. They're coming back. They're coming back really nicely. So, one great thing here, right? We talk about the fear and greed side of this, dude. When fear and greed reached the lowest levels of all cycles, even lower than it was at the bottom of the bear. When you look at this, I mean, it's crazy to go back and look at the bottom of the bears on where fear and greed was. And I mean, these met levels that we all thought that they hit. I mean, everyone out here looking at the fear and greed side knew that these things hit levels that we saw in the bear markets. And it's kind of crazy, dude. Like when you start to see the bounce back's nice. And again, yeah, who knows if this continues to go up? I mean, we have to break certain levels. And I'll show you guys some certain levels that we have to hit here. This right here can continue to consolidate right here. This could come up, hit this 94 and bounce off of it, right? I mean, you do got some resistance sitting here around 94. You can see we actually hit the 94. Decent sized resistance right here, pretty decent volume. But really what we want to get back to is right up here in the 108, which is a lot of volume up here. But it's going to have to work through a lot here to get there. But that's kind of what we're hoping for. And eventually this will actually bring, on the day chart, could bring the 50 back above the 100 and the 200 moving average here, which is what we actually want. We know that when this actually comes down and hits these levels, you can go back and look. When it actually comes down and hits these levels, we do a nice little bounce off. The only downside is this is the first time this crossed over since the last bear market, right? You go over to the last bear market was the last time this crossed over, and then we bounced back nicely. So, some people are thinking that this trend's going to actually continue downward, which is the bearish side of it, right? The bearish side is that this will continue to trend down. We'll have a little fake out here. We'll probably consolidate and then come back down again and create a new low, which is what people are kind of, saying out there on the bearish side, right? So if we're playing the bullish side, that's the bearish side. We're going to come up. We're going to get rejected here at 95,000. Maybe bring up the 50 to roughly right around the 100-day EMA, and then it's going to bounce back, and we're probably going to have a lower low. So what our goal here is, we don't want to create a higher low, and that's what people are saying, is that this is going to create just a lower high. We're going to create a lower high. We're going to probably come up and hit these levels, and then create a lower low. That's the bearish side of it. So again, everyone teach your own on how you want to view things. But I mean, levels, when that was happening, levels were a lot different, even on the RSI indicators. So yeah, it's just different when you look at that. The Venezuelan conflict is the main catalyst for the pump. I mean, the Venezuela thing is pretty wild, dude. It's pretty crazy on how that whole Venezuela thing happened over the weekend. I will admit. I mean, again, setting aside the political side of it, dude, kind of crazy. And I mean, how could you not be excited for people in Venezuela who have been oppressed for quite a long time, and to see that it's actually, people are excited, they're celebrating. Even people over here in America that ran away from Venezuela have come out and talked about. Even people that hate Trump have came out and talked about how they are very happy for it. So I don't know, man. I don't know. All I know is that I'm going to be buying. You got to be buying those gas stocks, dude. Go get into the oil stocks, bro. That's all I got to say. Let's see here. I'm hoping they do the markup vote for the Clarity Act. That'd be nice to get the Clarity Act going sooner rather than later. I don't know, Standing Man, if Venezuela is going to be that. I don't think that the Middle East is different, bro. I don't think that you can compare Venezuela to the Middle East. The reason why is because the Middle East, no one's been able to conquer the Middle East, dude. The Middle East is, just go back and look at the history of all the wars that have happened in the Middle East. I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing that comes out of it. You know what I mean? So I think it's different. You buy an oil stock today. I mean, who says I'm not already in oil stock, bro? What oil stock you thinking? I mean, ExxonMobil is going to be big. BP, Chevron. I mean, you should be getting in. You should be looking at all of them. I think we know that. Um, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously they gotta, with the whole, they gotta come out with. I mean, you go in there and you take out the leader of or the dictator of a country. You gotta put something in there. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. But you can see the markets are obviously reacting positively to it. So I mean, you can't knock that. I mean, we're here to make money, and we're not here to play politics. I'm not here to be a president of the United States or any other country. I'm here to make money. So I'm going to play I'm going to play the game based off that. You know what I mean? And right now, the money's exactly in Venezuela oil. The money's in these markets right now, and it's in crypto, and we're seeing that happen right now. Anyone that worked, like I said, anyone that worked their way in from a DCA standpoint is sitting pretty. Anyone that worked into the XRP's DCA'd into the XRP side, you had a potential to be up about 20% over the last 7 days, which is phenomenal, right? I mean, a 20% gain, 17% pump is crazy, right? I mean, that's really, really good to hear. It's really, really good to see. Easier to refine, Middle East, yeah. Again, we could all argue the reasons, the goods and bads, but for me, I don't care about any of that. In all reality, I care about the humanitarian side of it. I think that's the biggest thing, and if they can make it better for people living there, then why not? Um, I think that's a huge plus. So, going to be built in the southeast. Yeah, that's pretty crazy to think that big of a smelter being built. It's pretty wild. But you can see right here, historically, data is looking pretty good. I mean, we go back and look at the history of every time that we've had a down Q4. You can see here in 2022, we came back popping in 2023 in Q1 and Q2. We go back here in 2019, end of Q4, we came back and we had a really, really good 2020 and 2021, 2 years of bullish momentum. You go back here in 2018, which was a bear market, you had 41.62%. We bounced back nicely in Q1 and Q2. Go back here in 2016, Q4 ended. So Q1 and Q2 are looking pretty good. So far, so good, right? We just started. We're only 6 days, 5 days in. I mean, nothing crazy, but we're up 6% for Ethereum. We're up 6% for Bitcoin. Looking good. I mean, every time that we seem to be doing that, things look good, at least from an Ethereum standpoint. Bitcoin's a little bit different, but I'm liking what we're seeing here when it comes to just the start of Q1, which is a lot of what we thought about here is that Q1, Q2 was probably going to be a nice little rally. At least that's what we're hoping for. A lot of us are hoping for that. So multi-billion dollar, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Austin, where can I buy in with the Venezuela oil? Oh, dude, just go straight into like Charles Schwab, bro. To go download a Charles Schwab account, and then you can just go in and you could honestly buy whatever you want. I mean, look up BP, look up anything. I mean, any stock any stock that you want to look at, dude. Chevron. I mean, you can go down. You could look at Arco. You could look at any of those BP, ExxonMobil. Go down the list, man. Yeah, our ability to make profit is linked to world peace, oil, energy, and social stability. I would agree with that. And I think that guy out of those, I mean, you go down. I think world peace is a big part, right? I mean, I don't know if we've ever accomplished world peace, but I mean, right now, having, I mean, obviously Ukraine and Russia are probably the biggest war out there right now. It's only consolidated there. I mean, that's pretty good to know that there's not a ton of wars breaking out across the board. I mean, yeah, there's definitely some genocide going on. We know that for sure, at least in Africa. But I mean, that's crazy. But oil, energy is coming back, and I think that social stability is big. I mean, we're starting to see some social stability even here in the United States. I mean, as crazy as that sounds, I mean, people will probably laugh at that, but there is a little bit of some social stability if you want to compare it back to 2020, 2021. I mean, it's not as much. You don't see as much rioting in the streets. I mean, you might have protests, but you don't see as much rioting as there were before. So even if you look at that, I mean, there's probably a little bit, some social or some social stability coming here in the United States. But I would agree with you to that extent. I think a lot of things do hedge on that. Gas is way down. Can't complain about that. Gas is down. Even here in Washington, I was shocked to see gas prices where they're at. Silver is good, man. I think silver is a great leading indicator out there. Obviously, it's a market that's been heavily manipulated. But I mean, silver's doing really, really well. Yeah. Anyone that bought silver is looking great. Imagine running on lower gas prices and all you have to do is kidnap someone to accomplish that goal. They, dude. I mean, can we all agree? I mean, we can all probably sit here and agree that guy is not a good guy, right? I mean, morally, I mean, we could all probably agree to that. So if we can all agree to that, then we should all agree that this was the right thing to do. I mean, no different than North Korea, no different than any of those places. I think that they should all. I think any dictatorship should be gone. Again, we already know what happens when you have when you have communism. I mean, communism is not the way. I think we all know that. So I think we could all agree that no matter what the outcome is here, this is better for all the people involved. Doesn't matter. Dang, I'm late. I was out in the yard barefoot, repotting some plants. Hell yeah. What's up, 20 Punch? Good to see you, buddy. We got Craig Beats in the house here. What's up, buddy? Yeah, silver's killing it, dude. Some people think that silver is heavily manipulated. It probably is. We got Tim Shea. We got the mayor of crypto in the house here. We got the fantasy football champion, A-team champion out here in Tim Shea. As you guys know, the mayor of crypto, he took first in the first ever A-team Discord fantasy football. So shout out to Tim Shea for taking first. He was a dictator who lost the last election, but didn't even give up the presidency. He has been president. I know, and it's kind of crazy, right? And people are arguing that like he should stay there. And you know it's crazy, yeah. He and both parties, right? Regardless of whatever said on social media, Biden came out and issued, went out there and did the same thing, right? He's put a bounty out there for anything on him. Trump just followed through with it. And so, it's just funny to see the flip side of it. Yeah, we got fake news. If people of Venezuela are happy about it, then why wouldn't we be? I would agree. Trump kidnapped him. He definitely went in and dude, that was the crazy. There was a video out here. I was laughing, dude. I mean, like about how fast that even happened. I mean, like that's scary, dude. That's scary to think that you could just go into a country, take that country's most powerful person within 10 minutes and fly out like you never existed. Like that's crazy, dude. Well, I think that I don't know what the outcomes are going to be. I mean, for me, I guess the positive side of it, guy, is that I'd rather be optimistic and bullish that people stop dying, people stop getting their livelihoods taken, people can actually live freely and live happily. Like that's kind of what I hope for. So if this is the step to allow that to happen, then why would I be against it? You know what I mean? I do think that Ukraine and the whole Russia thing, I do wish that war ends and people stop, oofing over land, you know what I mean? Over a dispute that most of those people probably have no idea what dispute's over. The whole thing in the Middle East, the Gaza thing in the Middle East, like, yeah, that's a sad deal, dude. Yeah, I just think it should stop 100%. I don't think people should have to die for other people's causes. Like that's just kind of where I'm at. And that'll never change. I'll never change my mind on that. So, it was for absolutely nothing else. I think so too. I mean, I do think that there was probably some to stop the drug flow. I mean, I do think that. I mean, if that's the whole goal is to stop, the flow of drugs into America, I do think that probably helped. I mean, he was obviously one of the biggest proponents of that coming from Venezuela for sure. So, but this is pretty crazy, right, dude? How to spot value in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's Mayer multiplier here is now at the lowest level since the bear market low of 2022. Price now was sitting around 93.9. Price in 2022 was sitting around 16.8. This is right after the FTX collapse and everything like that. Bitcoin has reset while price is 5.5 times higher. You can see these levels are the same levels that we hit during the bottom of the last bear market. So, but what people are saying here or suggesting here is that we actually just hit this level, right? So some people are this is the other side of it here, is that although we hit this level here, some people think that we have to break through it to then get to the next level here. So you could realize that, I mean, we haven't, this time we actually bumped through here, you can see right here, and came up and then came back down again. But to be fully bearish on this, and again, these markets are different, dude. We ended the 4-year cycle. The 4-year cycle is obliterated right now. But basically what we are is we're on these levels here that we saw last bear market. And I'm hoping that we actually bounce off of this versus going below it. And that's kind of where I'm at right now is hopefully going below it would not be the answer. I mean, I really don't want that to happen at all. So, but doesn't mean it can't happen. I mean, it tends to actually hit these, bounce off it, and then actually go lower. So that's the bearish side of it. But the bullish side is that we're at these levels, and hopefully we actually make a recovery upward for it, dude. Let's see here. Peace out. What's up, Dusty? Good to see you, dude. Just who's selling them changed. Thank you, Jesus, for the chat. They fly most of that stuff in big planes. Sorry, I totally derailed everything here. The government brings most in and sells it. Probably true. Apparently, China was getting oil from Venezuela. Probably was. Probably was. I mean, I think that's probably the biggest thing here. There better be a good reason, like maybe Venezuela machine involved in 2020 voter fraud. Could happen, right? Let's see here. Day traders selling XRP now. Maybe very well could. I mean, the market's 10. We're at the top of the 10. Usually right around 10 o'clock, we seem to have like a right around 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Excuse me. Excuse me. Woo. Right around 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we seem to have a little bit of a downturn in the market. It seems like that happens majority of the time. Less people passed out, standing up would be good. Less people passed out, standing up would be good. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, 12 p.m. What do you mean 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? That's some crazy stuff, man. So effed up, he passed out, standing up. Who are we talking about? Oh, thank you, Deb. Appreciate you. What's up, Jen Deb? Good to see you. Sold 15K worth of stocks and went nuts deep into XRP at 182. Pray for me. Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. See, so you're sitting pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty funny, dude. I was actually watching that, the whole No Kings protest. I was like, where's that protest at? I was actually crazy. There were some pretty good memes out there on X about the whole No Kings protest. I was like, well, they just took out a king, a dictator. So like, where's everyone? Why isn't everyone excited about that? What's up, Paul? Good to see you, buddy. Any idea what happened with the Pure Wallet? No token release yet. No token yet. Like I said, I did talk with Andrew from Pure Wallet, and they're going to set up an X space and go up there and probably talk to the community about everything. Everyone's obviously have their own reasons, but they're going to give out their what's going on, give an update to the community, and I'm going to help. I talked with Andrew. I'm going to help guide it a little bit. Ask questions. So if you guys have questions, please feel free to put them out there. And I mean, I think a majority of the questions, I mean, like what's going on is the biggest question. Like what's happening? When are they planning on launching? I think there's a lot of those questions, which I'll help lead that space to get questions for a lot of the people here. We could run another country since we can't run this one. When is the X space soon? Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm waiting for them to whenever they put it out there. Shiba Inu breaks through much bearish trend line. Is the market back? Yeah, it came back popping, dude. I mean, look at SHIB right now. I was just looking at it. SHIB was right here. I mean, up 30% right now. Any of the memes are going to obviously come back pretty heavily. I mean, Pepe's up. Look at that. Pepe's up 67%, dude. 67.20%. And then we have, I think, the other meme coin out here, which is, Trump's up 60, or no, that's not one. Trump's not a Bonk's up 50%. Like some of these got up pretty good. Obviously, meme coins are kind of the big ones here, but you can see the average crypto RSI is well overbought right now. So the market will come down, and we can go back and look at these. I mean, the RSIs have been over purchased for quite some time. I mean, the 4 hour on these have extended. I mean, that's an extended 4 hour. This is a pretty good 4 hour for Bitcoin right now on the 4 hour RSIs. You can see that. And we tend to actually do really well when those happen, but we do come down pretty heavily. So there's going to be some fair value gaps down here on the dailies that are going to get filled up, where these are going to eventually get filled up here. Does it happen today? Does it happen for the next couple of days? Maybe. Same with Ethereum. Ethereum came up. We're starting to see the 4 hour actually come down. The 4 hours shifted on this. I'm going to get Leewards out of the way here, but the 4 hours coming down pretty good right now. You can see it's actually done what's weird is we built on Ethereum and then we've come down while still building, which is kind of a wild RSI. But the day chart's way over purchased right now. You can see the fair value gap starting right here at the 3,000 mark. This could fill in the 3,041 mark, which is right in the middle of a fair value gap here on the daily, which most likely will happen. I mean, this most likely will happen here. I don't care what anyone says. We tend to pull back at some point. All we want to do is just create a higher high, though, right? This is now a new cycle high, which we created right here. We want to come down and create a higher low to be able to create a higher high to then build out of this. That's kind of the goal here. So we'll see if that actually happens. We'll see if that happens. Believing Trump captured Maduro to stop drug trafficking is like believing he befriended to stop child trafficking. I don't think it was just for drugs. I think there was probably multiple things involved. I think there was multiple things. But yeah, gas is definitely, I don't think, let's not shy away from gas, dude. Like, we're all not dumb for sure. Allow us to add cent to PWT. Okay. That'd be a good one. Is H bar overbought? Yeah, H bar is definitely overpurchased right now. You can see the 4 hour on this one. The day chart's it's done a double top now. This is probably the time to short. I mean, I hope people don't want to hear that, but I mean, if you're doing some day trades or you're doing leveraging, I mean, this is the time to short. You knew that we knew that we went back and actually looked at the leveraging. Remember, I showed leverage where everyone was putting their shorts in. I think for XRP, people, it was right around 212. I think is where people had it at. So it was kind of crazy to see that actually come closer than I thought it was going to. But the day chart right here on H bar is definitely overpurchased. The 4 hours been heavy up here, starting to work its way down now. This is actually good. It's going to bottom out, and hopefully it stays up. Hopefully it stays up here while this bottoms out. Doesn't go down too far. Maybe it comes down here and hits the top of the 200-day moving average and sits up here on this 200-day moving average and kind of hovers around there and then bounces off it. That'd be really, really nice. Same with XRP. I mean, XRP could come back down here and maybe hit some certain levels, but I'm hoping that it stays up here and does fairly well on the 4 hour. But the 4 hour hasn't come down here, so this 4 hour is going to eventually shift and it's going to come down and probably start to hit some of these fair value gaps. But we'll see what happens here, man. XRP runs a little bit differently than some. Great next space to tell us it's just another year to wait for the PWT. I don't know what they're going to say, Anthony. I really don't. What's up, bro? NFL rigged. You talking about the game last night? Dividend voting machines from Venezuela. Yeah, that's kind of crazy that we accept the voting machines from another country like that. It's great, and you can glitch with one of the characters. I don't know what we're talking about there. I'll say this once. Watching February, April, the fall of Four Kingdoms. I don't know what we're talking about there, dude. I just closed out my XRP trade. All right. You had a long in there, I'm assuming. Holy shit, I caught a live. What's up, Observer Dude? Good to see you, man. Yeah, you had to do this with the hat. Sorry, guys. I'm in and out of the chat. You're good, bro. I appreciate being here. I appreciate you being here, dude. So we went down. We saw this. Obviously, Bitcoin's looking pretty good from that standpoint. Also, right here, if you're looking at data, Bitcoin short-term holders were indeed giving clues to the biggest breakout. We talked about this a lot. We saw that short-term holders were actually selling at a pretty high clip. And you can see now that they're starting to buy back in. I mean, anytime that we hit these massive lows here, we tend to come back and buy certain levels. And anytime we come down here, look it over, since 2022, we come down and hit these levels right here. Since 2022, back in the previous bull or bear market. And as soon as we start getting into the green here, we actually tend to do pretty well. So I'm hoping that we continue to ride this up and we start to see new levels, which is what we want. Yeah, definitely think we revisit back towards the 210. Very well can happen. Yeah. I mean, 210's right here. There's a nice little fair value gap here at 210. This could even come down to 205 right here, which wouldn't be too bad, right? I mean, 205 is not that bad. Hopefully we find a nice little floor here. There you can see there's a ton of volume sitting right here. We hit some resistance right here at this right around the 220 marker. Good amount of resistance right here. So maybe we come back down to the top of the 205 right here, which is again, another really good level. So we'll see what happens here, but 204, 205 is probably my level. If we continue to be bullish with this. So, I planned too much. So that's nice to see with that. Also, let's go back over here. I showed you guys this before, and what this chart is basically saying is that we've been in this low level for quite some time. I mean, ever since this is a nice little scale that goes up here. And I know people are always funny, dude. The comments killed me, dude. They're like, DEI followed the rainbow. I was like, oh my God, dude. Crazy. But this is just another view of it. Here's a better one. I've shown this before. Is that this is pretty nice right here. So this shows you a distribution of Bitcoin and where it's going here. This is a heat map that they created for this. Obviously, the darker red, and it indicates higher time concentrations. And you can see that we tend to spend more time in this red area, and then we have these breakouts. And typically we go up and hit certain levels here anytime we have these breakouts here. And again, we're in the red. We're sitting here in the red. We're trying to break out of it, but we've been here consolidating in this level for quite some time. So you go back and look here. I mean, we never hit the hysteria. We never hit like this massive euphoria like we thought we were going to hit here, at least in this bull run that we were all projecting. Yes, we did hit all-time highs, and the all-time highs were good, but they weren't at like any euphoria stage or any like excited stages. It kind of hit and then kind of just fell off the map here, and so people are thinking like, hey, this is another cycle. It's pushed off. It's not going to continue. This doesn't change the 4-year cycle. And then here we are, hopefully going to be building back out of this and then get into the top tier levels here, which is kind of what we're all hoping for, to be honest. So, let's see here. I don't. It has nothing to do with the pride. It has nothing to do with the pride. Sounds like it doesn't. The U.S. make up like 7% of the UN budget. Yeah, probably does. This is going to get ugly. UN Security Council meeting going on right now about what Trump did. What is the UN going to do? Like, what is the UN? I want to know what the UN's going to do. Like, really, in all reality, like, what is the United Nations going to do? Like, this is gonna be great. I don't know what the United Nations is going to do. They haven't done anything ever. I kind of like chuckle at it. Like, I don't think the UN's really going to do a whole lot. Technically, it's an act of war. I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, like I said, I mean, you could play the whole it's for, America's best interest. I mean, they're flooding our streets with drugs. I think that they do contribute to. I mean, I know Mexico does too, and I think there's. But I don't think the president of Mexico is the head of a drug cartel. She might be there contributing, but I don't think she's the head of a drug cartel. She might be, dude. I don't know. Actually, take that back. Let's take in here. People just in here showing some. They just screwed up the traffic. They better call Greta Thunberg. Oh my God, the majority of drugs aren't coming from Venezuela. We all know this is done for some reasons. I think that there's, we're obviously it's for the protection of the Western Hemisphere. It is. There was a pretty good argument as to why Venezuela, because it's just that it's really close to our borders. Obviously, I mean, it's not that far from Miami, or sorry, from Florida. Obviously there was interest for Russia and China in there. I mean, you have a person in there who's, obviously against America. You're not going to let any of your enemies get that close. It's almost like the whole Ukraine-Russia debate. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to allow Ukraine to become part of NATO, because why would Russia allow that? Why would Russia allow NATO to be right next to them? Same thing with Venezuela. I mean, are you really going to allow Venezuela to allow China and Russia to do whatever they want in there? I mean, no, you're not going to allow that. You're not going to allow that. It's like the whole Cuba Missile Crisis. I mean, are you really going to allow Russia to go put nukes on Cuba? Like, no, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to obviously do whatever they can to stop it. It's too close to our borders. I mean, like, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, man. It is for control, dude. It's control of the Western Hemisphere. I do think that's a big factor of it. And, the good thing is that no one, a war hasn't been started. I mean, they went in there, they took two of the people and came right back out of it. The same South America as America, and it's been long to America. MAGA's saying that stupidness. No, but I think it's for America's best interest. I mean, you're not going to allow, like I said, I mean, it's just like if America went over and took over Taiwan. You think China's going to allow that? Come on. And they're not going to allow America to be that close to them. It's just like, why are we going to let China be that close to us with Venezuela? It's not going to happen. I mean, that's really what it comes down to for me. 2 hours before Maduro was driving around with reporters ratting on Colombia. Yeah. I guarantee you that if China and Russia tried to, bring military over into Mexico, I don't think that would happen either. You know what I mean? Yeah. Back to crypto talk. Let's go. Yeah. No reason to get into the politics side. Politics are crazy. like I said, we're here to make money. So follow where the money's at. The money right now is obviously where it says right here, a little market risk from Venezuela action. I don't, like I said, I don't care what happened in Venezuela. I'm happy for the people who were under that ruling. I've already said that. But where the money's at is obviously in these things right here. Um, so Austin, can you look at XLM? Yeah, dude, we can. I don't know. This whole thing's gnarly. Pretty crazy, dude. It is pretty crazy. Like, no joke. Whatever the government tells you is a lie. That is true. But one thing the government's not telling me is where to put my money, and I'm just looking and following the where to actually put that money. What's up, Vince? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, it always goes off into the deep end. I know we do go a little crazy here. Yeah, it's a little crazy, but this is where I'm following right here. So we're going to continue to follow that. But you can see right here, 2021, obviously bear market. Then we had a breakout. 2026, pretty extended bear market, or what people would say a bear market to some degree. We had 3 weeks or 3 months of a downturn. Now looking for that breakout. That breakout just came through right now. This is kind of what's happening right now. And I hope that we can actually continue to build out of the trenches of which we're in. So South Africa is going to send Trump a wrongly worded letter. I don't think why would XCL be cooked? I mean, everything's holding up pretty strong right now, dude. I mean, across the board, whether it's XCL, whether it's Cent, I mean, everything's kind of holding up very, very nicely here. You can see Cent's up. I mean, Cent's still up. Well, it's coming up here. Still trying to get up to get to pre-sale level, and I think it's getting pretty close. I mean, earlier this morning it got pretty close, right? Let's see here. Yeah, Cent got pretty close to getting back up to pre-sale prices here. This morning, this thing was pumping pretty good. Almost there, dude. It's almost back there. It's getting there, climbing. XCL is still obviously up pretty good from launch. I mean, it's down over, down from its all time highs and stuff, but I mean, it's still up pretty good from its all time or from pre-sale price. So I think we're still sitting on what, a 3x, give or take. Yeah, about a 3x. So not too bad. So no, I think that they're still building, dude. I mean, this thing just came out. We go into the shallow end. XCL Mafia on their lives go deep dive into the Titanic. Sometimes you have to, man. Another problem is now a president for other superpowers do the same. Could be, yeah, I could agree with that. Removing a dictator, the U.S. liberals are constantly trying to remove Trump. So, oh yeah, it's pretty crazy, dude. That's why I said don't look too much into it. Don't look too much into it. I try not to look too much into it and spend too much time. But like I said here, this is kind of where we're at. But this is a really important chart to look at here. So this right here is the business cycle, and you can actually see this is pretty funny. It's called the ABC 1, 2, 3, and it goes into 5 actually. But you can see right here we go ABC, which comes low, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the peak, and then you go into another ABC cycle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you hit these cycles. And so same sort of thing here is that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which was hit earlier in 2025. Now it went into an ABC mode for that of the business cycle. And so the next level is obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're hoping that the ABC cycle of this will actually come into the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which will put us up to an all-time high again. And that's kind of what this chart is saying, is because we're actually hitting some pretty decent lows on the RSI right here. We see that, and it's crazy to actually watch that play out here. And then we obviously have what's called I think he has the PMI right here. I think that's what he has. And then obviously matched up here with that of Bitcoin pricing. So it's looking pretty good. I shot rifles on a sniper who used to train snipers. Oh, dude, that's crazy. I need help with Sentinel. I see the token. Yeah, you just gotta take the contract and put it into. Just gotta put the contract into your wallet, dude. Let's see here. And the Delta forces. But here's another good little trend here. Don't forget what we actually looked at here before. BTC has made a bullish cross. We saw this before. This is the MACD right here. Anytime we come down to these certain levels here, we start to build back out of it. And again, these are just indicators. These just help you have a better decision, better idea of where things can go. And I guess personally for me, I mean, looking at all the positive side of this is, overall, We're not looking at the dailies, like whether you long or short, which is what we can look at, because technically you should be short in the market right now based off of where the highs are going. But I mean, longevity wise, in terms of where we're going to be here in the next 30 to 60 to 90 days, I think is going to be very bullish. I need help with the Sentinel. Yeah, you gotta take the contract, dude, and put it into your wallet. You gotta upload that into your wallet. Damn, that's crazy. You're going on Narcan 3 times a day. I'm lucky to give it out 3 times a week now. That's pretty good, dude. Yeah, what was crazy, dude? I was just saying, my dad sent me a message the other day. Yeah, it was this right here. It said the Seattle Police Officers Guild President Mike Solon issued the following statement in response to the orders by the Seattle Police Department as they were received by the new socialist mayor, Katie Wilson, who said that they should no longer enforce drug use crimes in the city of Seattle. And so the Seattle Police Officers President, the guild president, came out and basically was like, this is the most naive, ignorant political decision to not arrest these people. And so now there's a big uproar. See that in Seattle, and I'm just like, gosh, dude, like here we go. We see the whole thing that happened in Portland, Oregon, and they're gonna just basically redo it here in Seattle. It's just so crazy, the thought process. Like you're just gonna allow that to run rampant through people's neighborhoods. Ah, man, it's crazy. Dude, I was in Portland last year. Yeah, dude. Portland, I don't even go to Portland anymore. I don't even go into Seattle anymore. I stay on the east side, dude. I stay over in like Bellevue, Redmond, those areas. Those are like the clean areas over there. I don't even go to Seattle anymore. Seattle will be dead, dude. Seattle is going to be just like Portland, dude. It's going to be basically a ghost town after the taxes and everything that was put up here with the new governor here, Bob Ferguson. That just the tax splits that he's putting out here. There will be there's literally everyone's going to leave. I mean, Jeff Bezos left, Bill Gates left. Everyone, it's funny. All these that's what kind of sucks is you got all these rich people. We're going to go tax the billionaires, and it's just funny to me when you think about the billionaires that they're going to tax, and they're the ones that kind of created this environment, and then they're the ones that can just leave whenever they want to leave, and it just screws everyone else over. You know what I mean? They kind of create this environment, and then they're rich enough to leave and get out of it, right? But they're the ones that actually created it. So, but what's crazy is that you go after these billionaires, right? This whole argument about the billionaire thing, and this again, this is not political, but this is actually true. Let's see here. I do believe this to be true. It is kind of crazy when you start to read about just the taxes in this whole tax with the billionaires. And when you start to actually look at the numbers, it's kind of wild when you start to see like how much money the billionaires are. If you take all the billionaires and combine them together, they're worth like what, $9 trillion. But then you go and you take all the other people across the United States for the taxes of what they own. They have like $170 trillion. So it's like, are we really going to focus all the energy on the billionaires when they hold such a small? There's just such a small amount of them, and they only hold a roughly around 9 trillion. But everyone else to combine is like 170 trillion. Yeah, it's a pretty good argument. There's a good argument out there. As you guys know, Chamath, he's part of the All In podcast. He makes a pretty good argument, especially for California on the whole tax purposes and everything going on like that. It's a pretty good argument. People always talk shit about firefighters, but it's important as police medics. Yeah, dude, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, I was a volunteer firefighter for three almost 4 years. I was volunteer firefighter EMT. When I was in college, I ended up I had to do like an election. I had to take an election class in college, and I was like, you know what, dude, I think I'm going to take an EMT, which was a pretty good class, dude. So I became an EMT, and then after college was over, I ended up volunteering as a firefighter. I went through the whole firefighter thing, and then obviously, after I made my own decisions on why I chose not to be a firefighter EMT anymore. And, went another path, dude. Chevron is leaving California. Yeah. I mean, I think so many people are leaving these countries or these states. These states are crazy. I might have to leave Washington, dude. I mean, after the imposed tax, like we might have to leave Washington for sure. I was telling Fan that, dude, like, I mean, just the amount of money that they're taking. I was just looking at this tax splits. I mean, it's kind of disgusting, dude, to be honest with you. When you start to look at how much like they're coming after the middle class, it's just kind of crazy, dude. And I just was like, I don't know if we can stay here much longer. You know what I mean? Nor I don't know if I want to be honest. I mean, I was just reading this. It came from my dad. You know, Washington state tax splits, higher taxes lead to more spending and deficits. And it just goes through this. You know, Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos may have seen the tax increase coming in Washington when he moved to Miami 2 years ago. It goes through this whole deal here. And again, I'm not gonna go into belabor everything here, but basically what it comes down to is that they're going to continue to tax significant portions of capital gains. And they're calling it the billionaire tax, but the billionaire or the million, you know, going after the millionaires and the billionaires. But in all reality, it's going to come back to the middle class. I mean, the middle class is always going to get screwed. They make it seem like it's going to be to go after the billionaires, the millionaires, but it always comes back and it will eat up the middle class people here. And that's kind of where it's at, dude. And on top of that, they're going to be putting in a capital gains tax. They're going to be putting in an income tax, and it's probably time to leave. I mean, in all reality, if I want to put more money in my pocket and make it to where my kids can prosper from what I've worked for, then I got to. And right here, Democrats didn't seem to care. They jacked up the rates this year to 9.9% on capital gains over 1 million. So they also raised the estate tax to 35% from 20% on estates exceeding 9 million. So again, am I in that level of 9 million from an estate side? No, but I mean, like, anything I make over 1 million, I have to pay 10% to them. That's not including what I have to pay to the Fed. So, it's just kind of crazy when you start to look at it that. And on top of that, they increase their sales tax. And I am, I would say that my goal is to, you obviously you're in this space to make money, right? And I would say that when I go to cash out my Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP and all that kind of stuff, it's going to be over millions of dollars. And so I don't know if I want to pay that much money to a state that I don't think has my best interest. So there's a ton, Ashley. There's a ton of daycares that are being funded in Washington State. Same deal that's happening in Minnesota. They're uncovering here in Washington as well. And so, I hear opening daycares are more profitable than crypto. Well, I mean, speaking of the daycare thing, right? It's pretty wild to see Tim Walz. I mean, said that he would never step down, and seems like he stepped down today, right? Not running for re-election. So, I mean, it's a pretty big hit when you think about it. And yeah, I was kind of cracking up over it because there's so many people out there that are, I mean, like, I don't know, dude. That whole fraud thing is crazy. If you dig into the weeds of it, it is a crazy thing to see, dude. And this, just for that guy that came on here earlier, here's the bearish news of this, just to let you know. So, if the bottom was in at every low in 2022 bear market, smart investors could be less interested in current BTC prices. He says, when it comes to investing, you have to think about your brain, not your feelings. So here's actually the bearish side of it, dude. So you can see right here that basically projecting that we could actually hit lows. You know what I mean? So we're already into what the red is right here is us climbing to all-time highs. And then we go into this blue marker right here, which is actually the selling portion. So what he's saying here is that no matter, if you look at the previous runs here, we've always fallen into these blue lows right here, which is the blues. And then you have the red. And so we've already hit the red. This is what he's saying, is that we've already hit these cycles right here. Long-term holders overbought, which are right here. So he's saying, hey, be smart about this. So the markets could come down even more from where they're at right now. So you got to be prepared for that. And that is the bearish side of it. So, I mean, if you want to, again, we can be bullish, but I mean, it's also good to look at the bearish side. And I do like that this CryptoCon guy does come out here and he does show the other side of it. And I do think it's important to obviously, when you do any risk assessment out there, you should be looking at both sides of this. I look at both sides of it. It's good to be bearish or bullish right now. And I want to continue to be bullish, but I mean, you have to also think about where this potentially could go. And that's kind of where it's at right now. You can see that there is some bearish news out there still, and it's not always bullish, but it's nice to sort of see this. The chart isn't DI enough for me. Oh my God, dude. Oh, nice. I had some high school buddies that lived there, great neighborhood, and you could tell in there. Where you at? Were you talking about San Antonio? Oh, San Antonio. How are I think the biggest thing for a fan, dude, is like spiders and mosquitoes. So I got to find a place because here in Washington, like we got spiders, but they're not that big, dude. We got like little dinky spiders. We might get some bigger spiders. That maybe, but you don't see them too often. And then on top of that, we don't got that many mosquitoes. Like we got some mosquitoes, but nothing too crazy here, at least in Western Washington. And so like, but fan gets eaten up, dude. So like, if I moved anywhere, it has to be like somewhere that has like less mosquitoes and not that big of spiders. And I don't know if there's a lot of places like that. And plus on top of that, it can't be like super freaking hot. Like she doesn't do well in hot weather. I do fine. Like I would love to be in hot weather constantly, but she doesn't do very well. So it's kind of hard to like find that. And I don't know if there's a sweet. I don't know if there's a sweet spot. What's great about Washington is that summers and falls are phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like that's in springtime's not too bad either. Like just the weather, the crisp air, like everything about it. There's not a ton of humidity. Maybe in the a little bit in a couple weeks in the summertime there might be some humid days, but I mean for the most part it's like really clean, crisp air. You're by the mountains, everything's green. So it's hard to walk away from that, knowing that but it just sucks from like a political standpoint when they're coming after the middle class, when they're coming after people are trying to make a living and actually provide for their families. It kind of sucks. North Carolina is nice. Is North Carolina nice? Is North Carolina? Is there a lot of Is there a lot? Isn't there like that's what she's also afraid of hurricanes. I don't know if there's can't even breathe in the car when Austin has the heat above 68. That is true, dude. She's like it's the most annoying thing, dude. Like I'm freezing my ass off, and then I come downstairs and like the heat's at like 66. I'm like, yo, dude, like get a fan. Austin or Ashley, I've been looking at North Carolina. Any places you recommend? New Hampshire, no capital gains tax, pretty much same weather as Washington. But what's the political climate there? You know what I mean? Is New Hampshire? I don't know what New Hampshire's like. I did visit. I tell you the truth, I actually visited New Hampshire. When did I visit New Hampshire? Had to have been back in 2000. Oh, bro, it was back in 2000. Had to have been 2000. It was before the pandemic. And we went up to I can't think of the name. I think of the Lake Winnipenoxie, Lake Winnipesaukee, Lake Winnipesaukee, I think is what it's called. Lake Winnipesaukee is where I went. Yeah, right here. Lake Winnipesaukee. We went up there and that lake is awesome, dude. That lake is awesome. And I do remember New Hampshire being actually a nice little area. I'll be honest with you. It actually was a nice little area out there. So yeah, I mean, and I remember it being a pretty decent spot. But I remember we went over to down over here and we got like lobster. There was like a bunch of lobster and all this stuff. Like I couldn't believe how much, how much was in here. But yeah, New Hampshire seems like a decent spot. But I think it's leans a little left for me, dude. Like I said, I'm pretty middle of the pack when it comes to political side. I don't, I might lean a little bit more conservative than I do liberal. And obviously, I've told you guys before, there's things that I kind of lean a little bit more liberal on than I do conservatively. But I mean, yeah, for the most part, I probably lean more conservative than I do liberal or left. Yeah, Lake Winnipesaukee. That's the one, dude. I need to rewatch that live that you did when all you did is cover. I joined 10 minutes ago. I'm sorry. What's up, Andrew B? Good to see you. BTC broke 94K. Let's take a look, dude. I haven't looked at it. Let's take a look here. Yeah, we're starting to climb again. Yeah, I did, dude. Look at that, dude. Holy crap. XRP back to 220. Things are ripping now, dude. Here we go, baby. XRP's ripping back to 220, dude. 225 is my number, guys. Hopefully we hit that 225. BTC back to 94. ETH back to 20, dude. 3,200 for ETH, man. Holy crap, dude. Hopefully your guys' longs are looking pretty good right now. They don't even have. What does Eagle say? Let's be neighbor kids, play soccer together. New Hampshire is nice in the summers, but that's only 3 months. New Hampshire has no sales incomes. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. You're definitely conservative. Yeah, I'm more conservative than anything. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's things that like I believe, like I said, I'm more on like the human. Like I believe there's a lot of things I guess for more of a human, human rights values that I believe. Like I do believe, I do believe that like women should have their decision. You know what I mean? Like women should decide what they want to do with their bodies. Like I do agree with that. That's the one big thing I agree with. Like who is anyone to say what you should and shouldn't do? But that's probably the one thing. Tennessee, yeah, I looked at Tennessee, dude. What's Jake Claver's prediction for today? Vince, yeah. California has a ton of oil, but we can't figure out how to pump it for new. Let it rip. Yeah. Yeah, markets are good. Austin, you think there's a chance Acceler will be listed in major exchanges this year? We'll see what happens, Reese. Big time. We'll see what happens, dude. Oh, where's the best state in the union? Oh, Florida. You're thinking Florida's the best? I don't know, man. You got hurricanes. You got it's humid as hell down there. Check out North Georgia. You might be surprised, Austin. I actually tell you the truth, Georgia was actually pretty nice. We did visit Georgia. I used to when I worked in Georgia. Speaking of Georgia, let's go down here. There was when I went down to Georgia, dude, for work. I went down there for I worked for a company in Georgia, and I went up to, I think it was up here in, let's see if I can find it. Where did I fly? I think I flew into Savannah, and then I think it was up here, somewhere up here. If I remember the name, dude, it was really really nice. I don't know exactly where it was at. I don't know where I flew in on Georgia. Tell you the truth, I don't know where we flew in. Where's their airport at? Is it in Savannah? Maybe it is. I just remember we drove up to a really nice like area, and there was like Coca-Cola and all this kind of stuff was up in that area. It's like maybe it was up in here. Maybe it was up in here in this area. I don't remember. Hampton, somewhere up in this area. But it was definitely like white. It was, old school brick. It was nice, dude. I lived in Atlanta for, maybe it was Atlanta. Yeah, maybe I flew into Atlanta. You're right. Maybe it was Atlanta. I flew into Atlanta. Where's Atlanta at? And then we drove up. Yeah, maybe it was up here. You're right. Maybe it was up here. My bad. I think it was actually let's see, where's Atlanta at? I'd have to probably go back and find it, but it was super nice little area, man. In outside of Atlanta. It was up here somewhere. Milton, something sounds familiar. I don't remember. Here I am, like looking for where we're going. Is it Sandy? I just remember there being like Coca-Cola and like all their stuff over there. It was like their corporate headquarters or one of their headquarters. My freaking microphone gets stupid sometimes. Oh, I know my TikTok feed sucks. I should probably just not use TikTok. They're gonna have a Observer, dude. They're gonna have hopefully they're gonna have a next space on it. Women decide what to do with their own bodies as long as it doesn't hurt someone else. I think so too. I mean, that's how I look at it. Anyone here, anywhere you live, you're gonna have something for others. It's all about what you can get used to. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I'll give you that, dude. Georgia born, beautiful state. Yeah, the north. I wish I knew where it was at that we went in Georgia. I can't remember where it was. I know. Oh yeah, that's right there, Sandy Springs. That was where it was at, dude. Dunwoody and Sandy Springs. That's where it's at. I just saw it. It was Dunwoody and Sandy Springs is the area. This area was actually pretty nice, dude. This area right here was super nice. It was just north of Atlanta, up in this area right here. Super nice little area. That's the one I was thinking about. Dunwoody. That's the one. Yes, we'll be neighbors in Tennessee. I'm going to Seattle and being your neighbor. That's amazing. I work 10 minutes from Sandy Springs and Roswell. Oh, really, dude? Is it? So it's actually a pretty nice little area up there. I mean, like I haven't been there since probably 2015. No, 16. Probably 2016. 15 maybe, somewhere in that ballpark. I haven't been out there. I went out there a couple times. Austin, you ever been to Mississippi? You can get all 4 seasons in 1 week. I've never been to Mississippi. I got asked to move out to Mississippi. Dude, it's funny. Fan and I almost moved to Mississippi I was working for a company. I was doing all the risk management for a company. They are actually a really big chlorine facility, chlorine manufacturer. And we almost moved to Mississippi, but I just couldn't think of like moving Fan to Mississippi. I mean, no offense, but like moving an Asian to Mississippi just was not, and like where it was Jackson, Mississippi, that's where it was, dude. Do they even have FUD places out there? That was my big thing. It's like, where's the FUD places, dude? I looked up the FUD places in Mississippi, dude, like 0. I was like, yeah, dude, we can't move to Mississippi, bro. I don't care how much you're going to pay me. And it was actually, I turned down a lot. Like I turned down a lot in a really good position. And it was like a stepping stone to like get to the corporate level. And I just couldn't do it, dude. I just could not move myself out to, I think it was Jackson, Mississippi. Or maybe it was a different. Yeah, maybe it was Jackson. Yeah, you're right. It was Jackson, Mississippi. I think. Freaking love pho. Yeah. But yeah, we almost packed up and moved out there. My youngest son lives in Mississippi right now. Okay. Oh, dude, do you? Oh, my wife and I live in Dunwoody. Oh, that's crazy, dude. So it's a nice little area. I remember it being a nice little area, dude. Like honestly, like the houses were super nice. Like they're all old school brick. Like it was super nice up there, Dunwoody. Yeah. XRP to 221, dude. It's climbing right now, buddy. Heck yeah. Look at that. Oh man. Yeah, XRP is flying right now. Hell yeah. I gotta look at I'm gonna pull up my portfolio here real quick. Hold on. I love when it comes back to 225, baby. Anyone that's been here for a while knows that. I consider Sandy Spring Dunwoody too. Oh, okay. So it is a good spot then. Jackson's awful, but Mississippi is one of the best kept secrets. Is it really, dude? Is it really? Do you think XRP can keep skyrocketing to 250? I mean, like 250 in one day? Probably not. I mean, there'll definitely be some catch up here. I mean, that's just how the markets roll. You know what I mean? This will definitely probably peel off at some point. Day charts way up here, but I mean, we could see right here last time. Look at this, guys. Just to put it out here, I mean, you can see right here last time we were at this level. Look at this. I was looking at this morning, by the way, just to throw it out here for XRP. Last time we were at this level right here, we just breached up here. Look at this. We just came up here. We were sitting up the top here. We started to peak out up here, but we were up here for roughly since we started peaking out. We peaked out at roughly, let's see, that was June 30th and rode this top all the way for almost 2 weeks. This is a 2-week top forming right here. So we went all the way up to 360, all the way up to 365, which is an all-time high. So what I'm saying is that I'm not going to discount that. I mean, like this is this happens right here. We built up and continue to rally up. But now, do we get back to 365 off of this rally? Probably not. But I mean, like, we can definitely get back up in somewhere into like maybe like the $3 range again. Like that would be pretty badass, right? Come to Calgary, Alberta, Austin. I would love to go to. I actually really enjoyed when we went up and visited our friends in Canada. I actually really enjoyed Canada. Not too many Asian foods in Tennessee, so your wife would hate it. Yeah, that'd be the downside, dude. I wanted to get back to where we were stuck at the 265. That'd be nice, man. Yeah, my 20 Austin friends are giving me great advice. You live in Alberta? Okay, Alberta could be its own country this year. Are they really trying to make it its own country for sure? Or is that just like Jackson, Mississippi is the worst city in Mississippi? Yeah, I would probably agree. I mean, that's why we decided not to go there, was because of that for sure. That would definitely try not to go to Jackson because I mean it was really really good money, really really good position, and like sometimes I think back like you definitely could have been that stepping stone to get to wherever you wanted to go in terms of the company. It was a big company, man, big chlorine facility. They were out of Louisiana, and they were up here in Washington too. Alberta is the best place in Canada for sure. Really, it's on the ballot. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. It's on the ballot. Yeah, market. Let's see where the stock market's going right now, dude. Stock market is 755, 167. Stock market is making the biggest move on Coinbase. Look at Coinbase is rallying right now. Let's take a look at the stock. Let's take a look at crypto stocks here. Circle is probably bouncing back. MicroStrategy is probably bouncing back. Let's take a look, guys. I told you guys MicroStrategy was the buy, dude. Let's take a look at where it's at today. Yeah, still trying to recover here. Let's go to the Hokinashi. Still trying to make a little bit of a recovery here, but the daily's down at the bottom. I mean, it's starting to rally right now. We're up pretty good. I mean, if you bought back in on Friday, we were talking about this on it had to have been Friday or Saturday. This is up 12% since last Friday, dude. It's up 12%. MicroStrategy is up 12%. That's pretty crazy. Coinbase up, dude. Coinbase is absolutely shredding it right now. Damn, they are killing it. If you bought Coinbase at the end of last weekend, it's up roughly about another 12% as well. So wow, dude. Circle's coming back, trying to make a little bit of a comeback here. Circle. Yeah, these are the stocks you want to be in. I'm sure Riot's probably performing very well. Yep, Riot. We talked about these last week, dude. These are the stocks you wanted to be in. If these are all the bottoms right here, I mean, Mara's up pretty good. Riot's up really good. Tesla's obviously performing very well. We're on the downtrend trend right here, but I mean, this is This daily's at the bottom right now on the RSI, at the RSI. The 4 hours at the bottom, the 12 hours at the bottom. Dude, like Tesla, this is the time to buy Tesla, baby. I don't care what anyone says, dude. It's time to buy Tesla. The weekly is the only thing that's over purchased here, but you could do like we could see something like this where we come back up. Yeah, Tesla's in a good spot too, man. Vince Tram, thanks so much for becoming a member of the A team. You're officially now a member of the channel. Welcome, my friend. The cold sucks, no doubt. I would love to live in the US, but it's not in the cards. But our summers are legit. Yeah, Canada would actually be pretty nice. XRP is 304 in Canada. Hell yeah, dude. You got that Canadian pricing right there. Adam, what's up, buddy? Thanks so much for the $5 super chat here. Happy New Year's, A-Team. Back from Thailand. New Year. Hell yeah, dude. Hope it was well over there, dude. Hope you had enjoyed your time. Fan XRP still far from 250 support from last year. I know, right? I appreciate that, man. Dude, move to Newport Beach in California so we can hang out and get birria. Oh, dude, I would love to, Andrew B. Newport's actually a really nice area. I just couldn't tell him. Yeah, that Vince, if you join Discord, just to give you a heads up, Vince, don't respond to anyone. I'm not DMing you. Turn off your DMs. It's not me talking to you. Like any of that kind of stuff, bro. Okay. I wouldn't DM you. I'm not going to ask for anything or anything like that. So just giving you a heads up, turn off your stuff and don't respond to anyone that's out there. But, yeah, you can see right now that even the S&P 500, Tesla is killing it right now. Coinbase is killing it. I mean, any of the crypto stocks out there are doing really, really well. Let's go back here to XRP is climbing nicely, and you see right here. Even I'm looking at this is the Heikin-Ashi candles right here. It started to make a little bit of a turn back right here. So usually we tend to trend. I mean, when the Heikin-Ashis actually turn over to green, we usually spend about 1 to almost 3 weeks into the green, almost 4 weeks. When the weekly trend on the Heikin-Ashis come back, we tend to go about 4 to 5 weeks in the green. Right, different candle structure here. But the Heikin-Ashi on the weekly is looking pretty good. 2 weeks in the green right now after a massive sell-off right here. So, yeah, we'll see where XRP can go, man. Exciting to sort of see this get back up here. My spine, tendons, and ligaments can't take the severe cold. Yeah, I'm with you, dude. Severe cold sucks. I leave for CES and gone for the week, so I may be the only stream I actually hang out with. Oh, dude, it's all good, bro. I will be going down to Bitcoin. I'm going to go down to Bitcoin 2026 in Vegas this year. It's in April, so I will be there again for Bitcoin 2026, which will be exciting. I'm going to go back down there again for that. I had a good time last time. Met a lot of people down there at Bitcoin 2026, so I'll probably go back down there again. And yeah, we'll see what happens here, man. Move to Newport Beach would be crazy. I'd love to get birria, dude. Birria is like my favorite. If you ask me, like, what's my favorite Mexican food, it's birria tacos, dude. Birria is like the soul, is like the key to my heart. Is a good birria taco dipped in consomme, dude. Like that is where it's at, man. You funny, bro. Yeah, hey, remember, hey guys, I just want to throw this out there. I talked crap about the Seahawks and Sam Darnold when they picked up Sam Darnold. I was live on stream when I got the news that Sam Darnold would become the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, and I'm just here to say that I take back what I said. I do think that he is not the greatest quarterback. I think that they just have a really, really good defense, and that he just does the what he needs to get it by. And plus, they have a really, really good run team right now. The running game is really good. But I just want to say, Seahawks came in. They are top of the NFC. Can't knock that. But I was definitely a little bit down on it earlier in the summer when that first came out. Trump administration to meet with top U.S. oil executives this week to discuss reviving Venezuela. Hey, man, do the thing. Go buy that. Dude, you got to go buy the oil and gas. You got to go buy. Let's go back and look. You got to be out there buying. Let's take a look at BP. Let's look. BP's up. BP's up not that much right now, dude. Right? BP's up not that much, but it's definitely going to come up, dude. I mean, if they spike this, I mean, this is going to be, I mean, you could have got it at 33. I mean, this is where it's at, right? Let's take a look at ARCO. Oops. ARCO. Got ARCO. I mean, ARCO's up 0.3. I mean, ARCO's killing it right now, up 5%, dude. I knew it would be. 5% up right now is freaking good, dude. Let's do Exxon Mobil. I mean, look at that, dude. It's up 2.39%. That's pretty good for stocks, dude. You knew Exxon Mobil is probably gonna be the ticker on this one, dude. It's crazy. You can go back here and look. Let's go back over the 1 month marker here. Gosh, dude, look at that, dude. You could have got down over here for $100 at the end of the year, dude. At the end of the year, you could have got it for $100. Now it's up to 125. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. I mean, this was already in the works, man. I'm taking my whole family to New World in Texas. Best Mexican food outside of Mexico is San Antonio. I bet, dude. Also, remember when we bought Tesla at 225, bro. 225. We bought it at 225. I marked it on that day I bought it, just so I can go back and reflect. Again, I didn't know if it was going to do it, right? I just was like, my dad was like, yo, you got to buy Tesla today. And I was like, okay, cool. And I went in and I bought it. I bought a fat stack of Tesla. And I look back at it and I'm like, dude, it was like honestly it was the best purchase I made in a really, really long time, dude. I mean, best purchase I made, solid purchase, dude. No, you can't say, yeah, I mean, up roughly 100%. And we bought that back in April. So we're talking what was that? April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. We're talking 9 months, dude, up 100% on a A+ stock, dude. That's pretty good, dude. Well, I'm Hispanic. My last name is Biria. J-Lo, I like that. That's funny. I would get Chevron. Yeah, Seahawks, baby, Super Bowl. I know it's crazy to think, right? Like another Russell. No, not like another Russell. Cent XCL didn't get the pumping memo. It's because they're, people, usually when stocks usually when crypto's running like this, money's flowing into these cryptos and not flowing into any newer projects, right? People are putting their money back into XRPs or back into these projects, letting these things sort of rally up right now. Yeah, that silver, what to say, that silver, my best purchase. Oh, that's good, dude. Silver killed it, dude. If y'all bought XCL yesterday when it hit 3, you'd be up right now. Hell yeah. Where do you see XRP in the next month? I mean, I think I want XRP to be back up, easily back above 225 to 250 would be great. You know what I mean? Those are great support levels. It would be nice to sort of see that get back up there. I mean, obviously I want it back to $3. I mean, $3 would be like ideal for me in the next month because, that's a 10x. That's a 10x for me. Oh yeah, Tim Shea, I forgot to say this to you. I was thinking about this the other day. When I said to you guys the other day that Bitcoin is my highest holdings, you're right. Ethereum was my highest holdings for a long time there. And I was like, it was, and it was up there. But what happened is that Ethereum didn't grow at the rate of which Bitcoin did, right? When I was accumulating Bitcoin and it was only up 100%, I was down. And then when Bitcoin actually sprung up above $100,000, my Bitcoin holdings exponentially outgrew my ETH. So it became my number one. I mean, you got to think Bitcoin. When I bought Bitcoin at 20,000, 21,000 on average, I was buying Ethereum at roughly at 1,200. Plus, I actually owned Ethereum when I was getting Ethereum and accumulating Ethereum. Remember, I was getting Ethereum at like $3,000, $2,500 for promotions. So when it averaged it all out, my Ethereum holdings was like $1,600 for Ethereum. And so, yeah, it was my biggest holding for a long time there. But Ethereum only grew like 100%, right? Ethereum only went up to like roughly $3,000. So I went up 100% on my Ethereum holdings, but my Bitcoin holdings went from roughly, I was at like almost like a $22,000 average, literally went up to 100,000. I 5x'd my Bitcoin holdings. And so my Bitcoin holdings it's exponentially bigger than my Ethereum holdings. So yes, you were right. I did say that Ethereum was my largest holdings because of everything. And it was for a long time there until this last cycle. And then it outgrew that. So I wanted to say that because I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, yeah, you guys are right. Ethereum used to be my biggest holding, but not anymore based off of a dollar amount for sure. Being debt free is a beautiful feeling. I bet, dude. That's my biggest thing, dude. I would love just to pay off everything, like pay off my house. But the only thing I want to keep my house for is just the tax deduction. So I probably would never pay off my house, to be honest with you. I'd probably just keep that thing rolling. BTC having a hard time staying above 94K. Yeah, I told you, dude, go back and look. I mean, it's going to be hard for Bitcoin to probably stay above it. It's, we'll go back here to the daily right now. Actually, we're on the Heikenhachi. Let's go back to here. You can see, I mean, we're up here at the top right now. The 4 hour definitely double. Look at that triple top. 1, 2, 3. Anytime we do this, but we could continue to ride this out on the 4 hour. Bitcoin's a little resilient sometimes. We'll see if it can stay above here. But yeah, the daily is sitting nice right now. BTC having a hard time staying above that. Debt free is a beautiful feeling. Yeah, but what I was saying is I think I'll probably keep my house just so I can keep riding it off. Yeah, silver's killing it. Number 2 in market cap now. I think past NVIDIA. Oh, really? When are they going to move? Good question. I don't know. They're slightly moving. Cent is slightly moving up. I think there were some sales coming in with Cent. I think some decent sales came in. Yeah, you can see some sell pressure coming in. Pretty decent size actually, 0.5, 0.15. Definitely some sell pressure coming in here. You can see, XCL is up 6.5%, not too bad. Still trying to make its way up. Definitely can. Go to Discord settings. Yeah. Damn, I don't know if it passed in video. Let's take a look real quick. Let's see, silver ranking today. Oops. Let's see here. Let's see, market cap ranking. Silver. Oops, that's not what I wanted to see. Last time I clicked on this, my whole computer crashed. Let's not click on that company thing here. Silver's market cap hits 4 point more than that of Nvidia, even as gold remains. Yeah, so you're right. It did hit a larger market cap than Nvidia. Holy shit! Wow. Shout out to silver, dude. Silver might overtake Nvidia to become the world's second largest asset. Yeah, I think it did too. That's pretty badass, dude. Where do you see XRP in the next month? I think I already said that. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool, dude. Yeah, silver's killing it, dude. Silver's doing phenomenal right now. Yeah, I think this is a pretty big hurdle right here. I think 3,200 is a big hurdle for Ethereum. Obviously, 94,000 is a big hurdle, and then we're trying to stay above 220 right now, dude. This is killing it right now. Holy crap! This is up pretty damn good. XRP, yeah, up almost 20% in the last 7 days, dude. My holdings on it are just phenomenal. Just looking at my holdings on it, gosh, dude, I love when it gets back up like that. Just to see your XRP holdings go up 20% is phenomenal. You know what I mean? And Stellar's doing phenomenal, and Hedera is kind of lingering on. Hedera has been my biggest disappointment. That's badass. Silver's the third right now. Is this third? Okay, silver's still 90% underpriced. That's wild, dude. But I mean, yeah, I think our whole goal, it's always been 701 for me with XRP. I don't think that's ever changed. I don't think I've ever shifted stance on that at all. So I'll continue to ride that out. But yeah, what a great day, man. What a great day to be in crypto. What a great day to be in the markets. It's it's nice to wake up and feel this, especially after having a great weekend. Usually we've had a pretty down weekend. It's nice to see the weekend come back pretty good. It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy, dude. In due time, my good, yeah. Time for the big boys to slam XRP back to $2. Yeah, you never know, man. You just never know. But all right, guys. I appreciate each and everyone coming on here and kicking it with me today. I did come on a little early. As you guys know, my new schedule time, I'm going to start coming on here around 9 a.m. Get back an hour. Usually I come in and, I usually come back home from the kids and spend about an hour dinking around. But I'm going to try to get it rocking and rolling, get my day going. That's kind of my New Year's resolution is to start streaming as much as I possibly can at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and go from there. Like I told everyone here, I'm waiting for the Pure Wallet team to post an AMA or I don't know what you call it, a town hall for them to come on and talk to the community about everything going on with the pre-sale and all that good stuff. I think it's going to be good for Andrew to get up there and talk to people. I did say that I would jump up there and help guide the discussion with them and ask questions from the communities and to just go that route. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that you want me to bring up, like I said, I have a pretty good idea based off of my Discord on where everyone's at. I know people aren't happy about it, but I'm happy to steer that discussion. I think it's important. I told Andrew last night, I talked to him on the phone for a little bit, and I told him last night that the community was pretty disappointed. And no, I was pretty disappointed too. I mean, I wasn't fronting that. I was, kind of down on it. But, they have their reasons, and I think it's important that he shares those reasons with them and where they're going to go with it. So, but yeah, with all that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I probably won't be on tonight. We got soccer tonight, but we'll be back on here tomorrow. Same time, same place, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So with all that, I love you guys a ton. Peace out, everyone.